What would you do if you went on a holiday to Italy and you went in this restaurant and you were just about to order something, but the owner of the restaurant said, no, I'm going to tell you what you're going to eat? What would you do?
I don't like it when people say to you, I'm going to give you a really good Italian experience, because the pressure was on.
The pressure on is how much is it going to cost?
Because all I wanted was a little plate of pasta.
Yeah.
In this week's show, we're going to take you to Italy and share with you some inside information, the kind of stuff that no one else will ever tell you about.
Hello.
Hello and welcome to the It's a Drama podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today we're bringing you this podcast from Italy, from Porto Santo Stefano. We're just going to be talking about what's happened in the last week. The reason that you're going to like this podcast is we're going to be sharing some stuff that you wouldn't really be thinking happens in Italy, would you, Brian? You know, like when you think of Italy, you tend to think, oh yeah, you know, just the food and the weather and people.
It's a hard one to think about Italy, isn't it? Because you just think, what do you think of Italy?
Do you know what, Brian?
What?
People live in Italy every day. Why are you doing this?
No, I'm just saying, you know, because what's your perception of Italy? You know, is it like everybody like lives in Rome and that's it? Or they're all like mafiosa people and stuff like that?
It's hard to get your head around the fact, I think, that people, this is what I'm saying to you, without being all like, you know, just philosophical. What's the word? Philosophically.
Philosophical. Yeah. Philosophical.
People, that's it. People live here, Brian. Oh, listen. Boy racers live here, Brian.
Yeah, they
They're
do.
driving around the streets with their little horns, beeping
little horny Italians.
Yeah. So we just thought we'd fill you in on life in Italy. So we've been here for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Just over 2 weeks.
Just over 2 weeks and 2 days, I think it is.
And we're here for 6.
Yep.
So it's horrible, isn't it? You have that time, when you've got 6 weeks somewhere, you're like, oh yeah, I've got ages yet.
Loads of time.
And then the first 2 weeks just goes by really quickly. And I almost don't want the third week to be here, because then it's like, you're on the wrong side of the hill. Do you know what I mean, Brian?
Yeah, because you want to.
It's like getting to be 50, isn't it? And you're like, oh,
well,
God.
it is. Yeah, it's all downhill from then on, isn't it? Like, you know, it's like I'm on a super steep slope now. 60's approaching.
Do you like Italy, Brian?
I really do. I love Italy. You know, even when we came back the first time with the kids back in 5 years ago now. But I loved it then.
But do you love being here with me though, Bri? We're not talking about being with the kids.
Obviously, yes.
It's a very different.
Yes.
Do you know what's really stood out this time? We've come back for the first time on our own. Like Bri said, we've been here with the kids. They have this brilliant thing in Italy, right, called aperitivo, where you go to a bar. It can be a normal bar, like we go to our cafe. We've got our local cafe here.
We've got a local cafe here.
We've moved from New Zealand and
Yeah.
we've moved to this little cafe down the road. We have our routine. We go to the beach, just exactly the same as New Zealand, really, only in Italy.
Yep.
We go to the beach, don't we?
Yep.
We have a swim. Then we walk over the road, go to the cafe, sit there for about 4 hours, drink loads of cappuccino, get up, walk up the hill, come home, do a bit of work.
And what a hill it is.
Yeah, it is. We'll tell you about that in a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this bar that we go to, this cafe, the other day I saw a little sign in it and it just said, in very small writing actually, so I think, you know, they don't want to
Yeah, it's a
advertise
tiny
the
sign
fact.
with half of it ripped.
Yeah. And it said aperitivo,
Yeah.
6 till 9.
Yeah.
So me and Brian thought, oh, well, we'll just come down then at 6 o'clock tomorrow night and just say,
It was a Friday night.
aperitivo, please.
Yep.
See what happened. So we went down there. And she came out, she's quite surprised, the lady, because she's always like, oh, well, what are you doing here?
You're not supposed to be here now.
You normally only come in the morning for a cappuccino.
You've got your towels.
And we said, aperitivo, duo aperitivo, please.
Yeah. But you have
Por
to ask for the cocktail, what cocktail you wanted, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So she said, oh, what would you like? So we looked up on the wall and there's a tiny little cocktail list.
Yeah.
And we said, oh, 2 cosmopolitans, didn't we, Brian?
Yep.
And out they came, and I'm not joking, they were just improper cosmopolitan glasses, weren't
like
they?
daiquiri glasses. Yeah.
I just felt it just felt
It felt
really
real.
special. It
Yeah,
did,
it
didn't
did,
it?
yeah.
And the thing is,
And this is a locals place. It's not a touristy place,
No.
is it? You know, it's like the
Definitely
bin
not.
men go there and all sorts of people
the
like
refuse
that.
collectors,
Yeah,
Brian.
the electricians, heat pump guys,
Yeah, they all go down
AC
there.
guys, yeah.
Police, everyone's down there,
police,
aren't
the
they?
parking assistants.
We always manage to find the little local
I know,
places.
yeah, but they're the best places,
Yeah,
aren't
they are.
They really
Anyway,
are.
going back to the aperitivo,
Yeah.
out they come, these 2 daiquiri glasses filled with cosmopolitan, what's a cosmopolitan again?
Cosmopolitans, cranberry juice, lime juice, and vodka.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's something. And triple sec.
Right.
Yeah.
Out it comes with olives, little peanuts, crisps, and these little plates. Unfortunately, Brian couldn't eat them, so I had to eat them all myself.
Yes.
But little like breads with smoked salmon and
Mascarpone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very
all
nice.
for free. Well,
Not for free, obviously.
all that is the aperitivo.
Yeah, it's $7 €7 a cocktail. Yes.
Which is $10.
Yeah, but like I say, the little
Didn't
food,
need
the
any
food
dinner.
that you get with it is fantastic.
So we said
10
right,
cocktails,
we
done.
Yeah, we worked it out. We were like, right, okay. So if we had 2 of these,
Yes.
would it be the same amount as going out and getting shopping for dinner? And we worked out it was the same. So
Yeah.
that night we didn't have any dinner. We just
No.
had 2 aperitivos.
2 aperitivos each with all the little bits and bobs of crisps and peanuts and olives and
Oh, Bri, why
was
don't
lovely,
they do
wasn't
that around the world
I don't know. Why can't they do that in New Zealand? Well, maybe they do in places.
or
but
anywhere? They don't just.
well, they kind of do in America, don't they? You know, when you remember when we were working in Canada, so it is the Americas, and then at 5 o'clock they used to do, it was like a happy hour for a couple of hours.
Yeah, but it's rubbish.
Yeah, but it's just chicken wings
what I mean.
and stuff like that, but it's all free food. You can just
Yeah.
help yourself to the
But
food
like-
as long as you bought beer and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you can get the
Not
same in
quite the
England,
same.
a bag of cheese and onion crisps. It's not quite the same as bringing it out, a little smoked salmon on crisp breads, is it, Bri?
No. I'm sitting by the port down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you tempted to have one of those little crisp breads, Bri?
Yes.
Were you?
I was going to eat them all, and then I
Yeah.
just thought, no, don't do it.
Yeah, it's not worth it, is it?
It's not worth putting yourself back, is it?
No, not when you're gluten free. You've just got to stay on the straight and narrow, haven't you?
It's
Otherwise,
just quite sad actually, because I saw a guy eating a big white sandwich with no crusts on it.
was that this morning when we went down?
Yeah, and you just think, oh, you're never going to taste that again, are you? A little soft piece of white bread and some stuff in the middle.
Talking about the beach that we went to, like I say, that's our routine beach cafe home. We're living it up in Italy, obviously. Actually, the reason we're doing this is because it was always our plan when we got here. We are going to go and see sightsee, obviously.
Yes.
But it was always our plan to get here and work, wasn't it?
Well, we had to catch up on
Catch up.
work because haven't really been working that much while we've been the last month or so. Have we really? 'Cause
No,
we were with the
been
kids
slacking, haven't we?
and England and meeting family, so you can't really work when you're doing stuff like that. Apart from answering emails, that's about it. But this was like proper work. Yeah. Get things sorted out.
That's the only thing when you work. You know, when you work on what's it called? When you bring your work with you, work remotely. That's the word,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Is you almost feel embarrassed when you're with family and stuff. God, listen to all those dogs,
There's a lot of
Bri.
dogs going on.
Dog fight.
Yeah.
When you're with family and everything, it's almost you feel embarrassed to say, I've got to do some work.
I know, because they
Because
just think you're on holiday.
I think they think that you're using it as an excuse to get away,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, but
So-
you don't. It's just that you're not on holiday. You're kind of holidaying, but you've got to work, and that's the downside of you don't have a proper holiday as such. But yeah,
Anyway, what was I saying about the beach then? Oh yeah, so the beach, I don't know what it is about the beaches in Italy. They're beautiful, but they're like this tiny little thin strip, aren't they,
well,
Bri?
not all the beaches in Italy, but
Right, what other beach have you seen that's not like that?
well, I haven't been to that many beaches
there you
in
go
Italy,
then.
have I? But
There you go then.
you're talking about
Yeah.
the one that's down at the port there. Yeah,
You're not.
but it's next to the
you
harbour
haven't
wall,
got
isn't
any
it?
reference, so I'm just saying all beaches in Italy are long and skinny and pebbly.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, but the
The ones
first
that
day
we've seen.
when we talked to the lady whose house that was the sitting for, she just said there's some lovely beaches around. You got to go through some.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, but I bet they're long and narrow and skinny.
All right.
Because they hug them. I'm not saying they're not nice, Bri, but
Well-
I'm just saying they hug. So that they hug the road, don't
Really?
they? I
Okay.
think they do.
Well, remember that huge beach that we went to?
Which one?
Remember, we were driving down on the first leg when we were heading down to just the other side of Rome, and we pulled over at that place, and I can't remember the name of it now. But it
Why
had
are
a
we so rubbish
huge.
for
It had a
names?
huge beach. It was enormous, and it was just sandy.
Anyway, what I was saying
Those
was that
umbrellas
this
and
beach
everything.
that we've got
Yeah.
is long and skinny.
Okay.
And the thing I love, it's so weird. You know how you used to hear about, like, I don't know if they still say it, but back in the 80s when you went on holiday, everyone used to take the mickey out of the Germans. Do you remember? And they would say that the German people would run down and get their
Yeah.
towel and put it out on the thing. And That's what it's like down there, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, but this is a local beach, and it's local people doing it to themselves.
Yeah.
And you go every day, and they're in exactly the same place on
We're
the beach.
going earlier and earlier now
Yeah.
because we want to get our spot. We've got our spot. We're between curly hair and tanned young couple, aren't we?
Yes.
We know our people, and we always go there. And the other day we got down there a little bit late, and this guy was in our place, and he looked at us, didn't he, Brian?
He was disgusted.
Swear, he looked at us as if like, there you go. Not so clever now. I've got your place. So the next day we went down and a bit earlier and we laid our towel down, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
They're all at it down there. They're honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know how they're friends because, like you say, they're all local, but they've all got this thing this competition about who can get their little spot down there, and woe betide you if you go down and get one of their spots.
Yeah, and they all wear different bikinis and swimsuits and togs, as they say in New Zealand, every day. They're different every day. You're like,
I know. There's
What's going on
this
here?
one old lady, and she is just gorgeous. And this is what I love about the Italians. They're so dedicated to helping their elderly relatives, aren't they?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And we watched, because people watch, don't you, when you go to the beach? We watched this family. They're two sisters, and they've got this well, she's an old lady, isn't she, Brian? I don't want to sound rude, but she's an old lady. She's about 90.
Yeah, she's in her 80s. Yeah.
Well, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have put her a bit older than that, but she's got a bit of trouble walking, and every day we watch as they bring her down, they sit her down on the thing, they put her sun hat on for her, and then they lead her into the water,
Yeah, because
push her in.
It's a pebbly beach.
Really?
A bit of,
See you, love.
yeah. Oh, look at that! Like, you're falling over again. Like,
No, they lead her into the water, and it's just a very, very lovely thing the Italians have.
yeah,
I've never
and
seen it anywhere
there's a
else.
lot of
Maybe India's
older
like it as
people
well.
down there as well, isn't there? You know,
Yeah.
and they're all just standing there, soaking the sun up, and
It's such a nice atmosphere.
it's a nice feeling because no one really gives a toss what they look like
No.
or anything like that. It's just like, hey, this is it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was going to say about that. It's just wherever else you've been, Greece. Yeah, we haven't been to loads of. We're not really beach people, but wherever else you go, I don't know if New Zealand's not like it, but
Not really.
Greece, it really stood
But the
out.
trouble is, there's not that many people sunbathe on the New Zealand beaches because that sun is just so intense. It's
You
just
get
like,
told off if you sunbathe.
yeah, you do really, don't you? I mean, you'll have yourself in sunscreen and stuff, but really.
But
it's
anyway,
not
the beach in
bad.
Greece,
Yep.
everyone was posing. Everyone, wasn't they, Brian?
Yeah.
It was just who had the best body, and
Who had the best bat and ball.
Yeah, exactly. And the guys would go down to the sea, and remember that couple? Oh, you always get them.
Yeah.
They're there, perfect bodies.
Just come out the gym, falling out the gym.
Playing bloody what's it called? Ping pong with
Play a
each
bat
other.
and ball. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can't help but look, and then it's just you just sit there feeling worse and
It's
worse
too
and
late
worse,
at
don't you? Yeah. But this in Italy, it's not like where we are. It's not like that. They're just like Bryce said.
it's
They're
the locals, aren't they? And they're just enjoying themselves and just
enjoying life.
Yep, and that's what it is. It's
And
soaking
enjoying
up the beach.
family time, aren't they?
Yeah.
Would you have done that with your dad, taking him down to the beach and set him up?
He's not a beachy person. He doesn't really like the beach. I can't ever remember going on a beach with him unless we were kids.
Or when you're older then, would you expect Sonny and Tess to take... I will.
Obviously.
I'll tell you, yeah. If they don't do that, I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah, I'll be taking a video of these people and going,
I know. And I want
"See
what
that?"
that woman's got because they bring I've noticed they bring a big cool bag down with them.
Yeah.
And they've got loads of food for her as
Yeah.
well. So they just keep feeding her all day. In for a swim, back, feed her.
Foods
In
and
for a
floats.
swim, back. Yeah.
And then
That's what I
they
want,
move the
Brian.
deck chair and they put it in the sun and then
Yeah.
they take the deck chair back out, put it in the shade.
Quite right as well. Good on you, Italians, for looking after your elderly
Yes.
parents.
Very, very well done.
So, yeah, that's the beach. What else were we going to talk about? We said about, the walk to the beach.
The walk, yep. It's so steep and it takes you probably 15 minutes to walk down and probably 20 minutes to walk back up, isn't it? And it must be, I don't know, 500 steps plus.
This house that we're staying in is the highest house.
One of the highest houses on there.
Right, it is the highest. I've seen it from the sea. When I go in the sea, I look up and this
Yeah.
is the house I can see.
What about that one over there?
No, this is higher than that,
Oh, right.
Bri.
Okay.
This is the highest house
In the world.
in the whole of Italy. And And we have to
Yeah.
walk down to that beach
Yeah.
every day.
And they're like cobbled streets, aren't they? And quite smooth and shiny, sort of marbly stones, aren't they? And so your little flip flops go 10 to the dozen going down there.
When we first took this house sit on, do you remember we told you that we had the interview with the people, we phoned them from Greece, we did a Zoom call. And the guy said to us, he goes, "Are you?" He's American, and he said, "Are you fit people?" And we're like, "As if." What do you think?
Yeah.
And we were like, we lied, and we just went, "Oh yeah, we're very, very fit." And he said because the hill is very steep. And Bri, being cocky, he was like, "Oh no, we're in a steep place now where we are in Greece."
It was.
No, and the guy, and you
Yeah.
showed the video, didn't you? Shot the video around, and the
did.
guy said to you, didn't he, Bri? He said,
Yeah.
"That's not as steep as the hill you're coming to."
Yeah, but he was wrong.
No, he wasn't.
He was, definitely.
This steep.
It just doesn't come out on the camera. It just doesn't come out the steepness of the hill, does it? But that hill
You're wrong,
that hill
Bri.
that we come up on the car is not as steep as the one in Greece.
Oh well, I think it is.
Honestly, it wasn't. Yeah,
I think it is, and so we have to walk.
it's about 3 times longer. This hill,
Yeah,
but,
we have to walk down every day, and I'm not joking. By the time you get down there, it's bliss actually, because by the time you get down there, it's really, really hot, and you just can't wait to jump into the sea. And the sea is so
It's
warm.
so warm.
It's lovely.
It's gorgeous, isn't
Yeah.
it? It really is. Yeah, definitely.
But then the downside to that is you have a cappuccino, you get all hot and sweaty. Sometimes you go back in and have another swim, and then you've got to walk back up all those steps. I don't want to moan because I don't want to sound like I'm
No.
ungrateful, but
But yeah, after you've had a couple of cappuccinos and it's a bit hot.
you bug me actually, Bri.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you do
Why?
a bit.
I do. Yeah.
No, you do.
Oh, right. Because I go so fast. you think.
Yes.
Yes.
What's all that about? Why?
I don't know. I just try and prove my fitness every day.
Yeah, I know, but do you know what annoys me about that? And I don't
What?
mean that sometimes while I'm behind you, I'm getting more and more angry, and I think I'm going to have a go at him about this, because what it is it goes in stages, the steps. So it goes like steps and then a level bit that you walk along, and then steps, a level bit. And what you're doing,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
is you're racing up for some reason. You have got something to prove to me, which I'm not even looking at you,
I
so I don't
don't.
even care, Bri.
Yeah.
But what you do is you get to that level and you stand there, Bri.
Yeah.
Oh, look, haha, I'm waiting for you, Liz. And
Yeah.
you stand
If
there,
I-
have a good 10 or 15
Yeah.
minute break. And then, yes.
10 or 15 minutes. What is
Sorry,
it?
sorry, seconds. It feels like minutes. Seconds. You have a good 10 or 15
Yeah.
second break, right?
Yeah.
Waiting for me.
Yeah.
As soon as I get up there,
Yeah.
you're like, come on, let's go.
Yeah. What do you say?
I told you what I said. Wait for me, you little.
Yeah.
Wait for me, Brian,
Well, do
darling.
you know what it is? It's like because normally when you're just walking along, you have a conversation with each other, but it's just like you don't say a word going up those
Kidding
steps.
me? No wonder. I'm nearly having a heart attack. It's not getting
And
any
if I
easier.
didn't wait for you, you'd be saying, "Why didn't you wait for me?"
No, but I'm just saying, can you just, now I've just said it on the podcast, can
Yeah.
you just bear in mind tomorrow, when you see me eventually get to the break, the top, where
Yep.
you're waiting, have a little bit of consideration and just think,
All right.
right, she needs a break. She needs a rest.
Yeah.
Instead of all this bloody rubbish you keep going on about keep your heart rate up, Liz. Come on.
It's easier. First 3 minutes.
So anyway, and I did want to say as well, on the way down there, right, there's this, I feel so sorry for these people. Shall I say about that? Oh yeah.
What, the pigeons?
Yeah. There's not many pigeons here, is there, Bri?
Not really.
But they're all homed. Is the word homed? You know, pigeons home,
I
don't
suppose
they?
you could say a home.
On this one house.
Yeah.
On the way down there.
It's just covered in pigeon buck, isn't it?
And we can't work it out. We're like, okay, what is it? Why do all the pigeons in Italy nest on that house?
I know. But it's only about 6, 7 pigeons, but they've just made such a
Yeah,
mess, haven't they?
yeah.
And it's just, I don't know whether it's because they've got a little bit of water
The
down
house
the bottom.
next to it, immaculate.
Yeah.
The house the other side, immaculate.
Yeah.
This one house, like it's in a terrace of, imagine a terrace of Italian houses going down the hill. Just this one house. And she's put, you know, on the letterbox, she's put those spiky things.
Yeah,
so
and
they
all there's
can't
like
land.
cables that run along the wall. They've got all the little V spikes on,
Yeah.
but they're just covered in poo from above.
Oh, it's
because
covered in it. Absolutely covered in it.
They open the shutters, and then they sit on top of the shutters.
Yeah.
And just poo down all the.
Why would you think that is?
I don't know.
Why that one house?
I don't know.
Are you sure?
Yeah, maybe the water.
I'll ask you that again.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I don't really know. Why do you think, Liz?
No, it's not that.
I know.
It's just I don't hear those words often
Yeah.
coming from you, Brian.
Yeah, that's why I keep saying that it might be that water.
I think it's something to do with the paint, maybe the paint
Yeah.
of the house or the
I don't
heat,
know.
where it
They're all the
is.
same colour.
Yeah, no, but maybe it like stands in a place that's sunnier or shadier, and they just zone in on that one house. It's a bit. It's a bit scary. If I was living
weird,
there,
isn't it? It's like Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds,
exactly,
isn't it?
Brian.
Yeah.
Imagine when you came to sell your house.
Yeah.
You know, like when you've got to declare if anything's wrong with it.
Yeah.
So,
We have some squatters.
just don't look outside. Just don't look on the pavement.
Yeah. Wipe your feet before you come in, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that, and that's on the way down there. So, yeah, that's kept us very interested, hasn't it, Brian?
Well, it is, because I think I might knock on the door tomorrow and just say, what's the problem?
Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you as well. When we first arrived, I'm going to say about the meal. About that lovely meal.
Right, that restaurant. Yeah.
When we first... Oh, pass me my drink, please, Brian.
Oh.
We were going... Brian said, let's have a glass of wine. And I said, no.
Yep. But, microphone's...
Let's have water instead. And Brian said, oh, that's a bit boring. And I said, okay, well, we'll go halves then. So we've got half wine and half water. What's it like? It's a bit like fizzy.
It's a bit like nothing, really, isn't it?
Well, it's a bit... No, it's wine, but it's...
Well, it's fizzy wine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Watered down. Fizzy.
Fizzy wine. Yeah. That's all right.
I find you get a little bit silly when you've had too much wine on the podcast, Brian.
Yep.
Anyway, what I was going to say to you, we turned up at the house sitters and we did the introduction, and then we went off, didn't we? They said, because there was nowhere for us to stay because they've got a child and there's only 2 bedrooms. So they said, okay, we'll see you tomorrow then to start your house sit. So that night we had nowhere to go.
No.
And we decided to find a restaurant.
It was a bit of a nightmare, that, though, wasn't it, really?
Why?
Because we looked on the old faithful TripAdvisor, as you normally do when you're...
Well, we'd asked them, hadn't we, for a recommendation?
Yeah, and we found that restaurant on TripAdvisor and drove all the way out there and it was shut.
Yeah. So that's how we found this one. So we were driving along and we were on TripAdvisor, like looking, and it said, oh yeah, there's this restaurant. And we were like, where is it? And it was in this like shopping precinct, closed down shopping precinct, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like, well, yeah, it's like, well, like a strip mall, as they call it. With a car park in the middle and then 3 sides of...
Yeah.
Looked like shops, but they weren't shops.
And it
then
was
there
about
apartments
8:30,
above,
wasn't it?
there?
Yeah. About 8:30 at night, no one around, and just this place that looked a little bit like a snack bar, didn't it, from the outside?
It didn't look like a restaurant by any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, we pulled over and these 2 guys just came walking over, didn't they? And just like, started talking. They realised we've got English plates on our car, so they were kind of speaking English and like just saying, hey, we're Italian, we absolutely love nice cars and things.
Yeah, they were. What's the word when you're not oozing? What's that word when you can't get enough of something? They were just, all over the car basically.
They were, yeah, and it was great because it was a good conversation point, and not knowing that actually he was the owner of the restaurant.
Yeah, we just thought he was
some
random
guy.
There
with
didn't
his son, wasn't he? Like,
yeah,
and they were just, and he was taking pictures. Son was taking pictures and all this sort of stuff, and
legendary.
Yes, legendary. Yeah.
Yes. Guarda, guido il motore. Guido il motore. It sounds very good. Guarda la scimmia. Che roba. Questa ci hanno messo ultimamente. You had race rate.
I said to him, take you out for a drive in it if you want. And he was like, which we did go on a drive, didn't we? And then we went back and sat down, and the guy, who the owner, just started saying to us, I'm going to treat you to an Italian experience.
Yeah, imagine that.
He said, we don't get many tourists in this restaurant because it was obviously a local restaurant, and it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, we didn't know he was the owner, and we were like, we started walking over to the restaurant, and he said, I am the owner of this restaurant. And like Bri said, I'm going to treat you to this.
Yeah.
Trouble is though, Bri, I don't want to put a negative on this story. I'm go on, carry on.
No, but the good side of it was that the first thing he said to me is like, we'll treat you to a, God.
Come on.
An Italian experience, and at night we do not serve pasta.
Bit disappointing.
No, I thought that was great.
Come on, why?
Well, because I can't eat pasta.
Anyway, what I was going to say, not being a bit of a downer, but I don't like it when people say to you, I'm going to give you a really good Italian experience, because the pressure was on.
The pressure on is how much is it going to cost?
Because all I wanted was a little plate of pasta.
Yeah.
And it was, anyway, the thing is, what we thought was a snack bar ended up being this fantastic
amazing wine bar, wasn't it?
Wine bar, yeah.
It was. Yeah,
we walked towards it, the jazz was playing. Italians sitting outside, and as, we walked towards it, and as soon as I saw the food that they were eating, I thought, oh, this is going to be so good.
It was like, he said, come in, and he took us around all the wine and everything on all the racks and everything like that.
Yeah,
and
but
he
that's
was
when
telling
I
us
felt
about,
pressure, though.
I know you do, because it's like, this is the Tuscan region, so these are all Tuscan wines, and you're like, oh my God.
We drink petrol.
Yeah, steady on
We
old
drink
chap.
rosé with fizzy water. Yeah, and he obviously thought, because we had a nice car, he probably thought we had good taste.
Yes.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
And he was like,
Well, he was right with that, but like not expensive taste. It's good taste and expensive taste.
No, I must admit, I did feel the pressure was on a little bit. And he was a lovely guy, don't get me
He
wrong.
really was,
But
yeah.
he did kind of dominate the evening, didn't he, Bri?
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to order what we wanted. He
No,
ordered
he
for
just
us.
said, this is what you're having for starters.
How did he know we had the money?
I don't know.
We could have just been sat there with 10 euros in our pocket,
No.
hoping to just
And
get a bit of garlic bread.
And not only that, he brought out 3 bottles of wine
I know.
just so you could have a taste of each one. And that was like, oh shit, what's going on here?
So we had
You
a
know?
quick word with each other. We just
Yep.
said, look, I said to Brian, and he went, Liz, we're going to blow the budget tonight. Didn't you, Brian?
Well, it did, because it was just like, and the,
Sod it.
yeah, it was just like, what can you do?
Well, do you know what you could have done? You could have turned around to him
How
and
much?
said, yeah, you could
Yeah,
have
but he
turned
was
around and
such
said,
a nice man.
did you feel intimidated?
Yes.
Really?
Well, you do to a degree.
Because he brought out that big plate, didn't he? He brought
Yeah.
out this big wooden plate
Yep.
full of salami and cheese and like masses of different salamis. And he was like
Yep.
saying, this one is from the donkey, this one, not the
donkey.
No, not the donkey.
Donkey.
No,
Don't
not
eat
the
donkey.
No, Brian, I didn't mean that. I was thinking about something else. This one is from the,
This is
what
from
is
the
salami made
donkey.
out of?
Pork, normally.
Yes. Well, this is from the pork that's from the region of this region.
Yep.
And this pig eats truffles, and this is why this salami is so good. It was all different salamis, wasn't it?
It was
gorgeous.
Yeah, it was everything, wasn't it?
Yeah. So out come all the salamis, like millions of them, and I'm just thinking, oh no, how much?
And he just said, you must eat all of these.
Yeah, do you know what
And
he
that
said
was
to
the
us?
pressure as well, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Because it's just like, oh, we only wanted, like, we didn't want that much food. Because we'd eaten some aperitivo when we were here, weren't we?
We'd already have fish and chips.
Yeah.
No, he said, don't be like other tourists. His English was excellent. He said, don't be like other tourists and not eat anything. So I said to Brian, right, we're going to eat everything on this plate now.
Yep.
I've never in my life felt so full as in that restaurant. Have you, Brian?
No. And it was great because we ended up having to walk home. Well, luckily, it wasn't that far
No,
from
I haven't,
where
I haven't
we were
finished
staying.
telling yet.
Oh,
So
right.
we had all the salami and all the cheese.
I thought that was it when you said I've never been so full.
No,
Oh, right.
no. So we had, all the salami, all the cheese. And then he said, okay, now the second course. In Italy, we have a meat course. Didn't he, Brian?
Yes. And we had to just...
I've got to stop saying that. I keep saying it all the time. Didn't
What?
he, Brian?
Didn't he, Brian?
Yeah, I've got that. I'm making
Yeah,
a
that's
New
what you say.
Year's resolution. No.
Oh, no, but that's you, isn't it? Like, you always say that. But we were that full from the starter, the antipasta, that we ended up just sharing the main course.
Yeah, but thank God we did share it
And that
because
was
it
huge
came
as well,
out.
wasn't
It was a whole pig.
That was it was and this,
More pig.
This
Sorry, veggies.
This special pig was from Spain as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was belly pork, slow roasted belly pork.
It was
didn't
amazing.
it?
It was amazing.
I know, and he really sold it to us. He was, but I don't, like I keep saying, he was a very domineering man, wasn't he, Brian?
Yes.
He was a very strong, dark, handsome,
Yes.
domineering Italian
Yeah.
chef.
You know when you see like yourself in the mirror?
How you want to be, like manifest.
If I was
as well.
Italian, that's who I would be.
Yeah. And so he wasn't having any of it. He wasn't having no, we don't want a main course. He said, no, in Italy we have the main course. So he brings out the menu and we're looking down and he's going through all the thing and this is lamb and this is chicken and this is the belly pork that's slow roasted for 10 million hours.
And he gave us a story about the pork and everything. wasn't it? Yeah.
So we plucked up the courage and we said, we'll just have a belly pork to share, please. And like I say, thank God we did because it came out, it was huge, wasn't it, Brian?
It was huge.
Crispy, crispy skin.
It was jolly nice.
Oh,
it really was.
It just pulled apart on the fork, didn't it? Mm-hmm. It was flipping delicious.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and how much was it?
It wasn't.
Bands are down, okay?
The technique is you just have to.
Okay, I got it.
There is no block.
First time I pay. First time you pay. Ready? How much money have you got? Can you afford it?
10 euros.
Okay, well, The lock is on. Safety.
There is no safety. Look, there is no
for you.
Look, there is no safety.
No, I would have kidding. I would have kidding.
You do it.
Not this time, okay.
It's not a simple safety.
Don't worry, I did the same several times, many times, more times. I did the same.
No, there is a technique. Is there? You have to hold it from the back.
Oh, now he told me. Yes.
Let the young man do it.
Yeah, the young man.
I did the same again. I did the same. So don't worry.
Alright, come on, go. Thank you.
My birthday present. Nice
Nice person, yeah.
This is a proper
This
weapon.
works better sometimes, you know.
You can do the same with those. Huh? You can do like that with those.
I promise you that was an Italian experience.
Oh, such an she's got it as well. Okay.
Bye,
Buonanotte.
bye-bye.
Hey, thank you.
It wasn't bad, was
No.
it? It
I
was.
couldn't believe it actually.
Was it 48?
No, it was 80 euros, Bri.
Was it?
80 euros.
It was 80
Yeah.
euros, yes.
Which is
Yes.
pretty steep.
But it was because, but then we had about, with all those three, because all those wines were open, weren't they?
Yeah.
But we polished them all off.
Yeah.
But they were all probably less than half a bottle in each.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And we
but it
didn't
was-
drive. Don't worry, we didn't drive because
No.
it was a bit of a walk though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know.
But we were staying in a hotel round the corner.
Yeah.
Well, not round the corner, but
Yeah. I wasn't very happy leaving the car where it was.
no, but it was in the. Well, you need to tell the story about how you took the young guy out for a drive and
Yep.
all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And
And he videoed the whole thing. It was the first time I'd ever
I
sat
don't think they
sat
would have
on-
let anything happen to that car.
No. And it didn't seem that sort of place.
No,
You know, when you actually
no.
with her. I mean, Italy is, I felt, a very, very safe place.
Yeah, it
The whole
has,
of
hasn't
Italy.
it?
That we've gone through. We haven't been, right, this trip we haven't been to Naples and we haven't been to Rome. And we haven't been to any of the big cities. So, but everywhere else just feels.
We've been to the cafe and the beach.
Yeah, well,
what
that's
do you
what we
want?
need to do. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What was I going to say? Do you think the Italian people are friendly, bro?
Yes, the majority of the Italians are friendly. Some of the people in this particular place, Porto Santo Stefano, you can just tell, because I grew up in a tourist town in Newquay in Cornwall in England, and everybody just hates tourists, and you can see the locals. If someone stops in the car, they get honked and beeped and like, come on, you got to move on, and that sort of thing. Like, so realistically, the locals here aren't as friendly, really.
Don't say that.
No, I know, but they can't speak English.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
they are friendly, Bri. Just not
They
that
are.
man who had a real go at you the other day.
Yes.
Driving along the road,
Yeah.
and you gave way to someone, and he was behind. I honestly thought he was joking. I thought this is just
I did
a
as
joke.
well at first,
Because he was like,
and that just made me go slower, because
what did you do out the window?
I didn't do anything.
No,
out
you
there.
did.
I went like that. I put my hand up,
Oh,
as if
right.
like I'm waiting for someone.
Do
I'm
you
just.
promise you didn't give him the finger?
No, he didn't get the finger.
No.
No.
You
no.
wouldn't do that, would you?
No,
No.
I would have done that at one time, but no, not so
What, in your
anymore.
younger days?
Yes, definitely.
Do you feel like you've mellowed out since
Yes,
those days, Bri?
a lot. Since those days.
No, but he honked his horn like really, really loud, and he was
Yeah.
doing this like as if like move, and we just started laughing, didn't we? We were like
It was
laughing at
just
each other.
unbelievably silly, wasn't it?
Because
Like,
I thought, oh, he's just joking, and so I turned round and looked back at him, and he was like
Stream
literally
of abuse in
waving
Italian.
his fist at me,
Yeah.
and all we'd done is stopped for literally
There was someone
2 seconds.
someone manoeuvring and turning around, and she was reversing across the road and then coming up the other way, and I was like, so I just waited for her, but he was like, you shouldn't have waited for her, as if like you should have just gone past,
Yeah.
and then that was it. And then we both turned down the same one-way road where he couldn't overtake me, and I was just like, right, I'm going slower and slower. And so we were.
shouldn't do that.
creeping-
That's just silly
it's
doing
just
that.
Like, he should have left 5 minutes earlier, shouldn't he?
No, but provoking people by going slower is just silly.
That's the reaction.
What
So
do you mean?
someone does something and it causes a reaction, doesn't it? So he should have just
Yeah, but
stayed
you
calm.
should have been a bigger man and just driven a little bit faster and just ignored him
Yeah.
instead of,
What's the way it goes?
Anyway, I think the majority, I think 99% of these people,
Yeah.
the people, are really friendly.
They're really friendly.
They're
It's
really
just,
lovely.
Yeah, don't provoke Italians on the road.
No,
That's it.
no,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so that's all I've got then, unless you've got anything else.
No, that's about it really for the first couple of weeks, because we have been doing a lot of work and we haven't been going out much apart from the beach and the cafe and back again. But there's a big festival on here tomorrow where the whole town closes down, and it's like these guys in these little rowing boats. They've got 4 men.
Oh, I don't think you're allowed to call them rowing boats. They're not that.
Well, they are rowing boats.
No, they're not. They're those big long things that you sit in, and someone at the front shouts, "Go, go, go!"
Yeah, it's
like
not.
that.
It's not the. It's not like a canoe or anything. It's not like a Oxford Cambridge boat.
Oh, isn't it?
No.
Well, it's not a rowing boat. That's not
They're
what
like
sound
they're
right,
like
though,
a
is
small
it?
Cornish gig.
Yeah, a gig. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah.
You know, when they do the gig racing, which are the but I think the Cornish ones have 6 or 8 in there. So these ones are little rowing boats with 4 people. You know, two either side.
Yeah, we did go out for
Oars.
another meal, by the way. We went for a pizza and had a nice little argument down there, didn't we, Brian?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
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 We've been out one night, so now we're saying no, we're not going
Yeah.
to go out for a pizza again because we're associating pizza with having an
No,
argument.
having an argument. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I didn't finish my pizza.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Liz scoffed all hers.
All the women in the audience will be nodding their head at me now.
Yeah.
Is there anything worse than when you go out for a pizza with your husband, you're sitting there enjoying every single minute of it,
Yep.
scoffing it down, loving it, and you look over and there your husband is with quarter of a pizza. Oh, I'm full. I can't eat
It
another
was just
thing.
the last, but it's like the gluten-free base just doesn't quite cut the
Brian.
mustard, and it was just the last little bit which is all soggy and horrible. I'm like, do you know what? That's just going to make me feel worse, so I'm not going to finish that bit.
Well, shame on you then, because look what happened.
I
It
know.
wasn't worth it, was it? You should have just got the pizza, folded it in half, rammed it down your throat,
Yeah.
swallowed it and gone, right, there you go. Can we stop having this argument now,
But
please?
yeah, that was the same as the guy in the car. So it was like, no. Maybe it's just I'm getting more mellow and more stubborn, grumpy old man, like, you know.
No, you're not. You're not. But no, that is a point though. You know that now, don't you, Bri?
What?
You know, like when you're
Finish
in
your pizza,
yeah,
referring to
exactly.
Les.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Just
'cause Les
finish.
likes to finish her pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just finish yours, and everything will be happy and
All right.
jolly.
Yes. I'll be a happy wife and a happy life.
Right, we're going.
Yes. On that point, we shall depart.
Yeah, we're having calamari for our dinner tonight. I'm really
Calamari,
excited.
Yeah. Calamari and some fries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fries and fries. Yeah.
I wasn't going to tell them about the fries.
No, but you were excited about
sounding
that.
a bit exotic.
Yeah, but you wanted
no.
fish and chips, and you said, I don't want fish and chips. I'd rather have calamari and
Yeah.
some fries. It's like French fries in the air
Yeah,
fryer.
and we've made homemade tartar sauce.
Yes, we have.
So mayonnaise, lemon juice, white wine vinegar,
Yep.
gherkins, capers, lemon rind, garlic, all chopped up.
Yep.
Beautiful tartar sauce.
It's gorgeous tartar sauce. And
so that makes it sound a bit more
the
posh.
calamari is fresh today. It was landed this morning, and we've got 500 grams of calamari.
Yeah. So
So I've just got
can't stop, got to go.
Just got to slice it up and pop it in the fryer.
So thank you so much for being with us, and just hope you liked that little update
From
about
Italy.
Italy.
Yeah. Italy is gorgeous. If anyone wants to come to Italy, just get over here because it's amazing. It's like France but not France, and it's like
I wouldn't
Greece but
say
not
that.
Greece.
I wouldn't say that. It's just Italy. Just
That's what
leave
I
it
mean.
at that.
It's
Just leave it at Italy.
Very,
is
very
gorgeous.
Mediterranean.
Yeah,
it is. It's
very
gorgeous.
piggy and lovely.
Very passionate people, especially with
Yes.
football and cars and,
Yeah.
and everything else like that.
Yeah.
They just, it's good to see the passion when you see them talking. Their hands are that.
I love the Italians. I just
So,
love their passion.
yeah.
Like, but just not when they're waving their fist at me in the car.
No.
Anyway, Bri, can we go? Because I'm
Yep.
trying to get to
Right.
my calamari
Yeah,
and you keep
'cause-
talking.
okay,
So,
yep.
all right.
So, kia kaha, stay strong. Kia u, stay true.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
The world is opening up again and everyone wants to travel, including me and Brian. You've got to make sure you've got the passports, the vaccines, get your visas in check. But what no one tells you is about the sort of person you're going to sit next to on the plane. His ears, I don't know if he'd had them carved or shaped or done something in surgery, or I don't know if they were plastic. They weren't plastic.
No.
In this week's episode, we're going to take you to Vancouver Airport and tell you exactly what it's like to fly from New Zealand to Vancouver in 2022.